thought they played a really, really good game, played to their strengths, and thought for a while they were able to sustain our effort defensively. But at the end of the day, I think that the size, really, really gave us problems. They had so many points in the paint, coupled with the fact they made 7 threes. They felt timely, and that was probably the combination. I think that the combination of making those threes, in addition to the points in the paint, was too much for us to overcome. So we'll regroup here, and we're looking forward to playing on Tuesday night.
Hey, Chris, it looked like Mo had just enough defensive strength to bump TJ off the spots a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I think too often, we obviously threw the ball to TJ a lot, but I think he was a little bit too far from the basket. Took too many dribbles to get into better position. I think that it's hard because the way they defend is aggressive, and so sometimes we can't make our entry passes, and so then as that time's ticking, then they're in a battle on defense, so it's harder for TJ to get really deep position. And to be honest, TJ doesn't need great position because he's so good and talented with the ball. But if it's that often, that's not good for us.
Coach, tight first half, coming out of the second half, VCU goes on an 8-0 run. How much of that is defensive breakdowns or just VCU coming out? Flurry?
Right. I felt like they really wanted to establish their game plan, which I thought we defended much better in the first half, and they were able to do it. We made 1 or 2 mistakes, but we just couldn't withstand the emphasis of getting the ball near the rim, and we doubled one time when we shouldn't, gave up a dunk. And so it was, their size is obviously a big issue for us, we just weren't able to deal with it for a long enough period of time. I thought at times we did well, made it difficult for them, came up with some steals, scrapped a little bit, forced a lot of turnovers, but all in all, we weren't able to deal with the size well enough.
You have a lot of things going through your mind during a game, but what went through your mind when you saw Buckingham go down?
Yeah, I was, terrified. He's an incredible kid and has meant so much to us already. And those things, it didn't look good. When we were out there, though, Adam thought that it was okay. As he was kind of talking to him and giving him a quick on-the-court exam. I was surprised to see him come back in the game, but I was terrified.
What did he do?
I don't even know, to be honest with you. I don't even know.
VCU players said that he told them it was his Achilles.
Yeah, that's what he was grabbing. So, but maybe it was just a strain, or he came back and played. I thought he looked okay.
Were you surprised when he came out?
I was. He came back and tapped me on the shoulder, and I was really surprised to see him there, that he was ready to play.
Chris, Johnny Williams usually doesn't score 15 points in a week. When he's as aggressive as he was tonight, how much is there like a surprise element to the guy who's guarding?
Yeah, he was so aggressive, and
he's pretty fast too.
He's unbelievably fast, and I think the fact that he doesn't really take threes, it lulls you into a little bit of a false sense of security. You play off of him. When you do that, of course, he sometimes gets a downhill run at you, and he's so fast and so good with the ball. So he was a big key to the game because. He scored well above his average, and I think those points were important, and they make us make adjustments, and then other guys are able to do the scoring that they usually do.
Well, along those same lines, I'm assuming your scouting report on Tillman, Ali, Cox, and Lewis they're at the top of the list, but outside of Williams, you also had Hamdi and Crowfield kind of hurt you.
I know. I think that was really the difference in the game. They're guys who are, as you said, Tim, the guys who are not at the top of their statistical categories really hurt us because I think Jaquan Lewis is a tremendous player, and that's a fairly average game for him probably. Obviously, Tillman had some foul trouble, and we didn't give up too many points to the top 3 guys, but those guys really. The threes, I thought the combination of that was, even though the points in the paint are much higher. I think the threes were the thing that really they felt timely. A couple right at the end of the shot clock, and the combination was too much for us.
Jaquan's had several games this season where he kind of almost seemed offensively disinterested. but lately he's been just tearing it up. When you're coaching and playing against them and you see him come out engaged offensively, does that cause any change in what you're doing?
Yeah, I think we're always preparing him for him to be aggressive. I think sometimes as a point guard it's hard because you have so many responsibilities, and so Scoochie Smith is one of the next best players in the league, and I see him have games where he takes 6-7 shots. I mean, it's hard because you have so many responsibilities. You're guarding a great player usually. You're dictating everything to what to do on offense. So I think it's more that he needs to be aggressive, but he also needs to manage his team, and I think he does a really good job.
It's always hard to lose, but could you talk about the atmosphere? Is
Yeah.
it enjoyable?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I mean, we need to do a better job upholding our end of the bargain. But it's great. I love the rivalry. I think Jeff, Anthony, Shaka, Will, they've all done a great job. They have really good players. On the court, the game is intense, but very sports. Everything's great about it. Everything's great about it. We just need to do a better job.
Coach, you guys have been one of the most efficient teams in the country inside the arc. What did they do tonight to keep you guys, particularly your guards, from getting off inside?
Yeah, I thought they did. I thought they did defend us well, and I know the other night St. Joe's had a lot of opportunities at the rim, and I know that Will was frustrated with their defense the other night. I thought we had some opportunities. They have such length and speed. That we had some opportunities. We missed a couple of shots that I feel like we usually would make. Some of that has to do with the size. But yeah, I think they were just attentive to the scout, and I think they protected the rim as well as they could.
Coach, you talked about regrouping 9 and 5. You guys still very much alive to make some noise in the conference here. What was your message to the guys about kind of not letting this thing get out of control?
Yeah, just that. This is hard. This is harder than a normal game or a usual game. So, just that we have to regroup, and we have to play Tuesday. They're not going to move the game because we feel bad about losing the game. So we'll have a couple of days. I'm confident that we will. But this one hurts. So it's just about us focusing and making sure the next time we practice, have a good warm up, be ready to go. Because this one does hurt, and I don't think we'll get the taste out of our mouth no matter what. So hopefully we can play well, so we can work toward that.
A couple of their seniors said that they're kind of seeing the end of the line here and kind of savoring every opportunity. Is there a way to bring that out in your players so that it's a positive?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we have in front of us kind of what we think we can accomplish, and we have it in front of us, and so I do think that's important. I think that. Now when there's a little bit more pressure on, you have a little bit less time to do that. But I think we'll talk about that with our guys, and especially obviously TJ and Chandra have been through so much.
Kind of playing back to what Matt asked about, the mood in the locker room, but a week ago you guys were still in the running for the first in the Atlantic 10 title. Now you got to make the tournament championship, just make the NCAA tournament. How are these guys going to adjust?
Well, I think, to be honest, I think we probably look at it and speculate more than the players do. I think they probably are looking forward to getting something to eat and practicing. I don't think they would know too much about the RPI and all those kinds of things. So in a way, that's a good thing. I think we'll be resilient. I think we'll come out and we'll play well on Tuesday, and we'll be ready to go.
Anything else?
Thanks for staying, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.